I can't sing like Beyonce. I'm not as good at fighting as Tyson Fury. I'm not as good of a cook as, Rachel Ray. I am good at understanding what people are gonna do before they think they're gonna do it.
Hello there. You're about to watch a cut-down edit of my full-length video from Gary Vaynerchuk. One of my favorite quotes from Gary is, "You can't fake being good at push-ups." Total Garyism. But if you're new here, my name is Brian. I've been doing this channel Behind the Brand for about 10 years. And you might be asking, how do I get such amazing guests like Gary Vaynerchuk or Seth Godin or Simon Sinek or Malcolm Gladwell or any of the other amazing people who've been on the show so far? It's by doing the work. Enjoy. 98, 999, 1,000. Here we go. So talk to us about the long term versus the short term in the context of what we were just talking about.
I'm gonna flip the switch on you. Like, it's how I kind of think about this show. I've been watching from afar and impressed with your grind. You're hustling, right? And you're pounding and you're pounding. And look, I was there 2 years every day of Wine Library TV, not selling more wine, investing.
Yeah.
And then Joel Stein decides to write an article about it. And back then, main media, and even today, mainstream media can help these kind of things, and he writes about it and all of a sudden it's in Time Magazine, Conan O'Brien's, people see it, now I'm on Conan, then the internet takes over and starts talking about it, amplifying it, the YouTube video, me and Conan, and it just starts happening, right?
Yep.
But then I decided to be in the business and talking, making videos, nothing's happening, I go give a talk at Web 2.0, smurf it up and away it goes, and and that's what it is. One gal at 2 o'clock in the morning that's at HBO is, surfing around and sees this interview and is like, that host's got it, and your life changes. And like, the lack of patience, the lack of patience is, what the lack of patience means to me, of most people, is they don't love what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
They don't believe in themselves. They don't have the resources or the time. But it's one of those things, and that's why so many great things go unnoticed. Hey, I'm Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're watching Behind the Brand with Brian Elliott.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Brand. Today I'm here in the iconic Gary V office in New York City, the new Hudson Yard. Gary, welcome back to the show after all these years.
It's really nice to be back with you, brother.
The feeling is mutual. So can you also then, let's go a little deeper, can you put your finger then on what you're excited about? Because you talked a lot about arbitrage, right? Whether, and I love this idea of that rant that you have about audacity. Can you talk about that for a second? When you talked about someone maybe dissing you on investing in XYZ, you're like,
but do I have the fucking obnoxious audacity? This morning, on a nice little Sunday, show 'em D-Rock, it's a nice Sunday, I woke up with a chip on my shoulder to talk about this audacity that they think that this one fucking person of 8 billion, I'm talking to you, that your judgment if NFTs is a good idea or not, or if collecting marbles, show it, or collecting old Transformers, show it, or fucking some cup from the 1800s, fucking show it. I went on a rant on Twitter to talk about this ridiculousness that people think the world is either or instead of and. Yeah, I think the world is obsessed with convincing people and being in the hot take business, and I think most humans are audacious. They think they're right about things.
Yeah, it's this, not that.
Right, and you know how much I love and instead of or, and abundance instead of scarcity, and I think the thing that, to go a little bit deeper to the first part of your question as I bounce around, now I'm 45 and this is the third time that I've gotten this spidey senses. This was the exact same feelings, which is, let me tell you what the feeling is before I tell you what it is. The feeling is, I can't do anything else but spend every minute on this because this is gonna be big.
Yeah.
I didn't own a computer This is I did not own a computer when I had an epiphany moment in a dorm room in 1995 that I was gonna put my dad's liquor store on the internet. I don't know what to tell you. I did not own a computer. I thought computers were for nerds. In 2005, when I had the epiphany that social media and content was gonna change the world, I had never even crossed my mind to be a known personality or do a TV show, radio show, local show, speak, nothing.
Yeah.
And immediately sent somebody else to get a camera, sat down, tasted 3 bottles of wine, and started on February 20th, 2006, Wine Library TV, and then a couple months later joined Twitter to promote it, and then everything that I'm pretty much known for started at that point.
Yeah.
Literally, the moment before that, I was running a retail wine store.
Yeah.
And was a retailer and a businessman, and that's what I was going to do. So I know what my body does when my spidey senses tell me the world's about to change. I believe that NFT infrastructure is gonna change the entire society, and I've gone head first.
How do we extrapolate that feeling? Because I think it's different for everyone, right? How do we know the difference between, I'm scared, I don't know if this is going to work out, or if this is truly, like the moment I'm inspired, or you notice a tipping point in the market, something. How do you become that self-aware?
I think it's a personality trait talent. I can't sing like Beyonce. I'm not as good at fighting as Tyson Fury. I'm not as good of a cook as, Rachel Ray. I am good at understanding what people are gonna do before they think they're gonna do it. Mm-hmm. So, it's a really challenging question because I want everybody to get value on the other side. I think what it really speaks to is, luckily for me, after many years of doing it as a child and into my 20s, somewhere in my mid-30s, I'm like, wait a minute, my subconscious became my conscious. I have a thing here. Let me keep developing it. I think for everybody who's watching right now, maybe hearing that it wasn't until I was 37, 38, 39 that I was like, I got this knack. It's not seeing around corners. I'm not Nostradamus, but shit, when I see something and I believe that people are gonna do it, online dating. I told every one of my friends in college in 1996 that everybody would online date. In 1996, online dating only meant one thing. You're 600 pounds, you live in your mom's basement. Why did I see that? Why did I understand it? It's, the Queen's Gambit really fucked me up. Besides, it was a show that I couldn't stop watching.
Same, yeah.
She did her shit, right? Playing, I do that.
Yeah, it resonated with you.
It was the first time somebody had visualized what I do.
Yeah.
Now I don't do it but I kind of do. I kind of say, okay, this is gonna happen. Everyone's gonna say it, that you're just saving a JPEG.
Yeah.
The same way that everybody thought Twitter was just about walking your dog, and then later people realized it was changing our geopolitical climate. Then people are gonna fixate that it's just on collectibles and art, but it's a platform. Just like people fixated that social media was just for kids. I start doing these things. Right? This one's scarier than social because money's involved. So people are gonna lose a lot of money. Somebody just bought a llama eating a taco for $47,000 that's gonna go to zero. I know that to be true, but it doesn't mean the NFT space is going to zero.
Right.
It means that the craze of the gold rush, just like internet stock in 99, will get people to make bad short-term decisions, but long-term, every ticket to Madison Square Garden will be an NFT, and if that's the night that Zion drops 100 points, everybody's gonna leave and sell it for $500 as a collectible. Everyone's bracelets to Coachella are gonna be an NFT. Every Equinox membership is gonna be an NFT. I'm gonna sell a home that is an NFT that represents the home. This is a contract overlay. We are not ready yet for all of us to fully understand what decentralized servers mean, the way that I in 1995 had to understand through 95 to 2001, all these 40, 50, 60, 30-year-olds, they didn't grow up with an internet, so they're using the past. So they think it's stupid to buy something on a computer, because why don't you just go to the store? Because they can't even project sitting down and buying something and having it delivered. I can, because I think people do that on catalogs, but catalogs are not effective. They're like LL Bean, right? So like, I don't predict, I just understand. I understand that people buy Mercedes, people buy Dunks, people buy Rolexes, people go buy homes just to communicate their wealth.
Status.
Yeah. Or their happiness. People take fake photos with their family at Disney to communicate a happy family with, even though at 11:30 at night in that hotel room they got into a massive bar. Like, people project. People want to keep up with the Joneses. People are insecure. People, others are abundant and want to communicate. Like, there's a million different things out there. I know that NFTs are the most scalable version of it that I've ever seen, even more than social. I already know, sitting here in 2021, that the public wallet, your wallet, with all your NFTs in it, will become the next social media. That we're gonna know more, that when Jason hit my radar, are we gonna hire this guy? That not just like we looked at his Wikipedia if he had one, LinkedIn if he had one, Instagram if he had one, TikTok if he had one, but in 2027, I'm gonna look at his wallet, and I believe what's in his wallet is a much better indication to who he is than what pictures he decided to PR to the world. What you buy. I'll give you an example. I went, you can't see it, my shades are down, Madison Square Garden's right there. I went there on New Year's night, 1999, to a Fish show. I was there, 1999, Fish played there. New Year's, I went. Worked all day at the dad store, drove in, met my friend Joe Minakawa, who now works with me at Vayner NFT, and we went to Fish right there. I know that I've put out almost as much content as anybody on earth in the last 15 years, and I've never mentioned Fish once. I know that because somebody would have went to my wallet, saw that I went to a Fish concert because the ticket was an NFT, that person might have felt a different kinship towards me than they would have. I know Jason's thinking, like, I can't believe Gary went to that. Like that's why I believe in the power of it, because I can only recall so many things. I can only share or have an agenda to share or a subconscious agenda to share so many things, but my NFTs will show a much more complete picture.
I mean, we were just sitting back, you know, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that, you know, tracking my roots, where I came from.